to the different platforms. Little Soulogy pre-show broadcast here on February 26th. All right, we got some people coming in. Welcome Periscope, Twitch, YouTube, and the Facebook pages. Let me just make sure some people get in here. Thought we could have a little conversation. Test. It's a little bit chilly this morning. Let's see, we got a few people in the house. Thought we'd have a little conversation about what's going on, which is what we do every day. There's so much has been, saturates the mainstream media, and of course even the internet and the different types of platforms, Conspiracy Disclosure, Starseed, and others. Let me pull up the questions on my page. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not using the normal studio feature that we use where I can see all the different comments. But I'm going to turn on the comments on my page on Facebook in case anybody wants to drop a comment. Let's see here. Hey, Xana. What's happening? Xana Kozar. Sorry we missed you going through Dallas-Fort Worth, but we were in a hurry to get home. All right. What's happening in Christine Skoglund? Allison, New York. #1 Soulogy cheerleader. And Josef Jazukowski, welcome. 9 people in the house on my page. And we got We got about 15, 22, 25, 32. 32 people in the house. All right. So, this first part of 2021, I could barely even say it. The first part of 2021 has been fast and furious, and that doesn't mean it's, I guess, above all else, it's been elevating. It's been elevating. So many of us are learning to be patient, and we're learning to stay in our own lane, and we're learning to hold ourselves accountable when it comes to judgment. We're learning what old frequencies look like as they get louder and louder until we make a choice or a new choice. Such as agenda, such as entitlement, such as all kinds of things, jealousy, envy, hate. I never have liked that word. All these things are falling away. Anything that doesn't convey an expansion of unity consciousness, no matter what your rationale is, but anything that doesn't expand unity consciousness is falling away. No matter how hard any of us try, no matter how great we think a certain movement is or a certain cause. We're all being put into the universal isolation. And that universal isolation is the greatest gift that we give ourselves, because it's where we find the true, somewhat, the beautiful to the soul, brutal to the human honesty of the soul. It's where we speak face to face with the universal, where we can't bullshit ourselves, where we can be honest with ourselves, where we can give our appeals and our dreams and our fears to the universe without being embarrassed, because it's just you and the universe, or me and the universe, doing the talking. Let's see here. Just a couple of quick announcements. We are having a Soulogy Fest in Sedona. We should know the location in the next few days. We have 4 places that we're looking at. And a couple of those are secured. We're just going to see what we can find for the best location. The folks over at Vibrational Empowerment Network, they're the ones that are going to facilitate it. We're going to do all the planning. And so there's going to be more coming out on that. But that's May 28th, 29th, and 30th. Probably have about a 4-hour, maybe 5-hour deal on the 28th, which is a Friday. And then the 29th and 30th will be probably 8-hour days. And part of the featuring will be, obviously, like many retreats and conferences and such, will be certain speakers. We're thinking probably about 8 to 10 speakers in that, 20 hours. And then have other types of presenters and performers and activities. And during times, some of that time, we'll have more than one thing going on at once. So that people can choose what they want to participate in. You know, there's a lot to be said for as we get into 2021 for people coming together organically. Not just the Soulogy Fest, but you know, we have, like, for instance, Vera and Augusti are in town. We've hung out with them the last 2 nights, and some other friends here locally, all part of the Soulogy community, which is kind of cool. But there's a lot to be said for these organic gatherings, because this is how the energy works now. Whether you're trying to put on a Soulogy Fest or build a 24/7, 365 network, or whether you're trying to manifest your divine partner, or you know, your perfect passion, or what 3D calls a job. There can be no hurry and there can be no force. It just has to flow. And we're all learning to do that. And I think one thing that we could all do a little more of, each and every one of us, is to give ourselves some credit. Give ourselves some credit and give our brothers and sisters some credit. Go easy on yourself and go easy on each other, because we're all done a hell of a job. Just showing up here on the earth, on this mission, if that's what you want to call it, is an honor. Make no mistake, it's not something that every single soul has been able to, participate in a physical level. It's a very special time. It's a very important time, because at the end of the day, it's not about solving the world's problems, solving the universe's problems, because there is no problem from the universal standpoint. It's not about righting wrongs and things like this. The reason it's such a powerful and pivotal seminal moment in the universal history is because there's such an opportunity, and I know I'm biased, but like that's never been before, that we have on behalf and as the universe, representing and demonstrating our ability to expand into unseen territory, because that's what it's really about. People talk about pushing through their fears, and they talk about integrating and zero pointing, and hitting the soul highway, that middle ground, that neutrality. These things that are taking up the most time in our days for the people that are connected to this type of vortex energy, which isn't just Soulogy, it's many platforms, many places, many experiences, occurrences, events, and situations. But more and more of our consciousness is focused on this Trinity energy, whether we're fully conscious of it or partially conscious of it. And it is fueled by our desire to grow and to contribute to humanity. And we're finding that the best method, the method that gives us the most ease and grace, even though sometimes it's a bit uncomfortable, is this self-introspection, this self-responsibility, this self-accountability, all tied to the other attributes of a growing soul: self-love, self-courage, wisdom, open-mindedness. I mean, there's so many different attributes and characteristics to what we all share. But I just want to make the point this morning before we get started on these shows. I'm sorry I can't see any comments. is that, yeah, we are doing a hell of a job. And regardless of all the stuff going on out there, we don't have to talk about what's being put in our face. The most important thing is focusing on ourselves and bringing ourselves into a higher level of alignment. And the great thing about it is, in this Trinity energy, is that when we do that, we're serving our brother and sister equally, and we're serving humanity in this universe equally. So it's the win-win-win-win-win-win equation that so many of us are finding ourselves in by force or flow, because there is something greater here, that certain something that we all compose together, that is bigger than us. And it's going to do what it's going to do. What it's going to do is a perfect geometric equation, a divine order, golden rule, cause and effect, yin and yang. It's always in balance. And I think when we choose to have these incarnations, we choose knowingly from a higher perspective that we're going into a situation, into a realm or whatever it may be, dimension, to further our own understanding and being of balance, representing the universe as we are made in its image. So, yeah, I'm just trying to get back on track and get some stuff going. You know, we were down for a few days. We were stuck in a winter storm, and it was pretty crazy. But it was a kind of a microcosm of what's going on in the world. It's interesting to see people who are in a catastrophic situation, who are functioning without projecting for the most part, people coming together for themselves, for each other, in a catastrophic situation, which, we don't know. We could see more and more and more and more of these things. But we got to remember, we're energy. We can work with any energy outside of us. We can resist it. We can judge it. We can oppress it. We can succumb to it. Or we can find an equilibrium with it. And that includes any and all things that we can think of that has ever been imagined that enters our field. So it's, to me, it's a remarkable time. I was talking to Morgan yesterday, and she was talking to a friend, and they said they felt like children waiting for Christmas. They feel some type of energy coming forth. I feel that way. A lot of people have talked about March. They've talked about May. Obviously, the winter is going to be ending, and the spring is going to be coming. And so, just from an energetic standpoint, that looks pretty good to me. But there just seems to be a lot of elevation, a lot of expansion, a lot of high understanding, a lot more epiphanies and revelations, a lot more skills, higher skills and abilities and sensitivities coming through for many, many people, which, I get my information from doing this show and for what I can pick up on social media as I run through it looking for stuff to post in the Soulogy group. But, yeah, it just looks really, really promising, and I'm excited that we're going to be having this Soulogy Fest in Sedona, May 28th through 3rd. What did I say? May 28th through 30th. Is that right? Yeah. I'm real because it feels like it's in sync. It feels like it's in alignment, and the people coming together to put it on. There is no force. There is no rush. There is no expectations. I mean, everybody's just kind of like taking one baby step at a time. We're going to meet in the middle and try to pull this thing off with the same frequency that we attempt to do every day on this network, which is to be organic, to be open, open-minded, both in who comes on and what's being said, and really focusing on the I am soul, which is my way of saying focusing on yourself, focusing on ourselves. We cannot fully engage the Trinity energy unless we fully engage ourselves. In the old paradigm, we overgave to brothers and sisters, to humanity, to our country, to our employer, to our church. And that was an imbalance. There was no way that the Trinity energy could engage itself, because the initiator of it, which would be me or you, was depleting themselves, and therefore you had an imbalance equation before you ever got started. But the Trinity energy, the Jesus energy, the Buddha energy, the Joan of Arc energy, Magdalene, Yemanja, all these essences, Isis, Osiris, all these essences that have left their imprint in this realm and in our consciousness, carried the ball to a certain point, and then somebody else picked it up and remixed it and moved it forward. And that's what we're all doing. But the difference now is we're all doing it together. And that's a powerful, powerful proposition. Remember, for me, anyway, I'm not trying to preach to anybody, but for me, my most important job each and every day is to be in full consciousness of my being and my sovereignty. And that takes every waking moment that I have. I spend very little time focusing on others other than from a constructive standpoint, and a further development of an open-mindedness, and a further gathering of information and code so that I can have a more clearer understanding or more stable footing in the 0-point field. But I think what's really happening as we head into spring is a lot of people that are on top of themselves, that are holding themselves accountable, that are spending the time, the most important time, with themselves. They're clearing, they're cleaning up, they're getting ready for the big coronation, the big coming out. And I really feel that as we get into the spring of 2021, we're going to have a huge wave begin, a huge swell begin to build, and I don't think it's going to be stopped. In fact, it's been in motion for a long, long time. It's certainly, by a lot of people's opinion, already occurred in the energetic field. And as we all know, everything occurs in the energetic field first, and then it materializes. As we all know, in the last couple of years, the concept or realization of instant manifestation has increased more and more rapidly. When something is achieved in the energetic field, the time on the linear timeline that it takes between when it was initiated and when it actually manifests physically is getting shorter and shorter. So, yeah, today we're going to have three really cool guests. One of them is Omani. I think it's Omani Naji. He does some really incredible things with music and with his lyrics and words. Omani Naji. I might have mispronounced that, but he'll be on in 23 minutes. We're also going to have Franco De Nicola, who is incredible. If you've never caught him, you might want to check it out. And then also Yvonnya from Tasmania, Bartholomew's, will be coming on a couple hours after that. Here, let me just pull something up here real quick. Let's see. I'm trying to get to my hands on the ability to see some of these comments. Let's see here. I want to just take a moment real quick to thank everybody for your continued love and support and your contributions, because there's no way in hell we could do this. And it's been a miracle that's taken a lot of work, and not just from me, over this period of what has it been now, 9+ years. It's just never made sense that something could be created in the realm that we are here to transform, when it goes against all of the normal things in society, whether it be the financial challenge of being able to do something like this, whether it be the ability to find the right frequencies and the right guest, the ability for two people from the other sides of the world or opposite sides of the world could come together and be a part of the story, and many, many other friendships and stories and fairy tales that have occurred in and around Soulogy and platforms like it. These things are real. There are many, many energies like Soulogy around the world. They all just look a little different on the outside. But, I think more than anything for me, what I see happening, which makes me really happy, is all of the connections that are made and all of the initiatives that kind of gotten born out of this energetic field that we all share, this vortex I call Soulogy. People launching their own shows, people launching their own channels, their own groups. I mean, it's incredible. And I have to remind myself almost daily that that's the real measuring stick. It's not the likes and the views and the comments and the people that you have in the community, and far as numbers you can prove and this and that. It's actually the unseen part of what we put out there, all of us, that is really where the substance is and where the purity is. I've read and heard of several accounts of people that have had near-death experiences. And I've had a couple out-of-body experiences that didn't come close to what I'm about to tell you. But these people were told, if you look in the old style, let's say in the Western religious style, they went to heaven, they talked to an angel, talked to Jesus, talked to God, talked to someone, and they were shown in their life review how their thoughts, words, and actions permeated out into the grid, into the realm, and how it affected people, that were face to face and then indirectly on down the line. So these things that we put out, these intentions that we have, the desire that we have, these are the initiators and the dominant frequencies, regardless of what our expression ends up being, whether it be asking someone to marry you or putting a piece of art together or making a song or light language or some kind of production. But I think these are the things that we're all starting to understand are the driving force of our co-creation, and also the driving force of our ability to transform and to actually embody, engage, and activate and actualize our higher skills and abilities and higher sensitivities. So, yeah. I'm going to put on a little bit of Amani Naji. He's going to be coming on here shortly. And let me just go in here and find it. I'm just going to give you a little idea of his talent. Let me see here. Let me just find him. If I can find him. I got to get organized. Anybody who wants to, we have a lot of people that want to come on. We've got over 150 people or have asked to come on, and we're going to do our best to get to everybody. You can, if you're interested, you can, and just be patient with us, but you can write to Soulogy Network at gmail.com, or you can go to the Soulogy Network website and check it out there. And contact us from there. Let me see if I can find Omani's thing real quick. Well, maybe not. Wait a minute. Let's see. No, maybe not. Let's do something. Let's mix it up a little bit. We'll do a little Universal Brothers and Sisters Circle. I'll be right back in like 3 minutes when this is over.
Yo, the work is gone already. The work is gone already. It's Frankfurt this time, though.
Smoke. Yeah. All cleared up. I'm saying. A little eucalyptus and menthol, you know what I mean? Joint, we back. Move through the courtyard, looking at the stars. The stars got eyes, cause you're looking at me, elevating in the streets. Bang. For the folks that can see us going down in the block. Down in the block where the candy lady rockin', the bones get slammed. On the table with fam, let it melt in your mouth and not in your hand. Chocolate, rockin' it. Rockin' it, you know I wanna go. Keep it elevating with the crew. South side of the city, extra really getting busy. Macho man daddy with the flex gang. Thumbs up, cause my text flames. You ain't tryna heal it, homie, that way. They really get to killing, baby, that's lame. Insane to the membrane, no 7 Right crown on the side, gold tooth like I'm Lolo. My mama don't favor that mess, but the way I did it was so dope. Yo, we still here? Hey, look at him. Look at him. Look at him. Southside. Southside. Hey. Yo. 2 up, 2 down to the galaxy. Yo. It's a sack check. It's a sack check. It's a sack check. Go, who you with? Take the body up, the crucifix, the precious on the mic, and never turning on the beat and making no that. The Philip was a pen. The Philip was a pen. I'm ready with the wings, and the heavens got the verse. Well, I'm a servant to the earth, but till the Trump administration never put the world first. I'm feeling you. Got a couple opens over on the grill. Smoke a veggie patty burning from the booth. Smoking around my dog and nothing but the truth. Ash Tower reporting in. This G4 once again. Ground crew on the ground. Let the liberation begin. Southside. Look at him. Southside. Yup. Look at him. Yeah. Ash Tower no down. We here on the ground. Hey, hold on, son, stop playing. Hey, yo, look at him. Hey, look at him. Southside, yo, look at him. Hey, 144,000 on the ground. 2 mil 50 in the air, 6 milli. On 4 Ascension J. Let's go. Yeah. Universal brothers and sisters, huh? Yo.
Sorry, I had the mic off. That's Universal Brothers and Sisters Circle out of Germany. Lavelle Zimmerman, Corey, Marshall, Amon Ra, I can't remember all their names. But, like a lot of expressions out there that are kind of bringing in different genres. If you, like in their case, if you listen to the lyrics, it's all about starseeds. It's all about the ascension. And, as my lovely wife likes to say, it's all about growing up. So, that's one of the things that we try to do at Soulogy is mix it up a little bit, in the show, Soul Speaks 5D, in the remixes we do, providing a platform for people to share their expressions and their dreams and their goals and their heart and their soul. And taking from all the different genres out there, whether it be somebody playing a flute, a gong, doing rap, conscious rap, light language, poetry, visual artistic expressions, and all of the above mixed together. That's what we're trying to do here. Everything we do is an energetic imprint into our experience. And we're in a really unique place because we have a shared experience. And so with the responsibility of the soul, to thine own self be true, comes an equal responsibility in the age of the Trinity to take that frequency of to thine own self be true and apply it to your brothers and sisters, humanity, and the universe. It's a win-win-win-win-win-win proposition in the age of the Trinity. So I'm just going to cover it again. We are going to have a Soulogy Fest the 28th through the 30th of March in Sedona. You can expect it to be different than any conference or retreat or seminar you've ever been to. It's going to be a mix of speakers, performers, presenters, and activities that will flow constantly and people can take their own breaks basically whenever they want to. So, we're going to try to keep it spontaneous, intuitive, creative, imaginative, and courageous, and all the finer attributes of the I Am Soul. We really are moving into a time where we're coming into our own. We're becoming more comfortable in our own skin, and we're becoming more comfortable with the power, the limitless power, truly limitless power that we have. And I don't think it's the 100th monkey effect anymore. I think it's like the 10 monkey effect. 10 people get something, and then boom, everybody gets it. And we can never underestimate the things that go on in the field of our own existence, in that space where it's just you and the universe. The thoughts that you correct and bring into alignment, the polarities that we zero point and bring into that neutrality I call the soul highway. The words that we speak to an individual affect the entire earth grid. The actions that we take affect the entire earth grid. Throwing a piece of trash on the ground, all these things affect the entirety. And we're starting to get control of it now by letting go of control. I know that sounds paradoxical, but that's how the universe teaches. I guess since we're going to be having a Soulogy Fest, and I'm going to be emceeing most of it, I'm going to have to brush up on some of the soul speaks. I've got one here that I'm going to share with y'all before we start this next show, just so I can practice a little bit. This was actually a poem. It's the greatest poem I've ever heard. It was written by my friend Gop from India, who I met several years ago when I came off the street, and I joined some poetry groups. It's called the Smiley Messiah, and I blended it with a Houston underground DJ's beat. So I'm just going to play that, and then we'll head into the next show. Wait a minute. Let me get rid of that. Here we go. Oops. There we go. Boom. When the calamities disturb my being and brutalities pierce my core, when I feel like a helpless warrior and I crumble down in the chaos, when my heart and thoughts grow up like a desert, when the greed and blindness become hurdles unmeasured, when I contradict myself and become weak and tired, when I think how to cry and I fear how to smile, when I think to myself, why am I like this when my concern is not all mine, all about things beyond me and what's yet to come. That's when I see the smiling Messiah, once the world's pariah living inside. Not hard to find, all we need, all we have, souls come to seeds, many breeds, can't you see? Souls to feed, death be released, countries, colors, cultures, all concede. Lead me to the promised land. One clan down for every woman, child, brother to every man. Where we stand, take command, make no plans, got no demands, ain't dying for any brand. One soul nation, a cosmic, a purification. We are creation, all relations, one soul tribe. True side of patience, spirit sustenance, universal creation. Not much to this. Find the innocence begins and ends with the laugh within us. We are the Smiling Messiah. Now here's the last part of his poem. All I see is the beautiful healing face of an intelligent warrior, a divine avatar, a friend all sage of life, a musician for all mundane and divine souls, a smiling flute player called the enchanting Krishna, Messiah with a sword called Smile. Dearest beloved of the soul, I feel the place you reign, and I wish I should inherit your never fading smile. The enchanting of Krishna, Messiah with a sword called Smile. Thank you for joining us today. We're going to come on in 4 minutes with the Mani Naji. We'll see you there. Peace out.